What is up, everybody? It is your boy Z-Farm. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we are here, and it is a brand new day. It is a brand new College Football 25 video. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about 5 of the fun teams to run in College Football 25 Dynasty mode. Last video, we talked about teams that you could rebuild. In this video, we're going to be talking about teams with exciting storylines, new opportunities for certain players, and obviously some of the favorite players to run in College Football 25. If you like this content, if you want to see more of this content, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also, hit the like button down below, because 98% of you that watched the last video were not subscribed to the channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, hit that like button, share to your friends. Also, down in the comments down below, let me know who you are running for Dynasty mode in College Football 25. We will have a Dynasty mode on this channel, also Road to Glory. We're also going to be doing some content with Ultimate Team. We're not going to be dabbling too much into it, but we will be getting into the Ultimate Team game mode as well. That should be fun. But ladies and gentlemen, let's get into this video where we discuss 5 fun teams to run in College Football 25 Dynasty. Now, this honorable mention, for some, I think is quite an interesting pick. And for those that live in the DMV, you might agree with me on this pick. It is the University of Maryland. The Maryland Terrapins are my honorable mention for teams, fun teams to rebuild in College Football 25. Now, for those that live in the DMV, you understand that we have great athletes. We produce some of the best athletes in sports right now. We have tons of talent, not only in football, but basketball, baseball, hockey, all the great sports, the major 4 sports here in the United States. And now you have the opportunity to not necessarily rebuild the Maryland Terrapins, because Maryland they've been a solid team. They've been to back-to-back bowl games. They've won back-to-back bowl games, but now you have the opportunity to take them to the next step, especially in the Big Ten with teams like Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State. You're now adding USC to this conference. A lot of big time schools in the Big Ten. You can take Maryland to the next step. You can elevate them into the college football playoff. And this is honestly a fun team to do, because they have guys like Roman Hemby. They have alumni like Stephon Diggs, DJ Moore. The year before, we saw Deonte Banks come out of the draft as a first-round talent from the University of Maryland. So Maryland has produced some solid players on the field, but they have not put the overall team together. So my honorable mention is the Maryland Terrapins. I will be running them in Road to Glory. That is the official announcement for this video. The first series is announced. I will be taking over the Maryland QB position in Road to Glory on College Football 25. Expect that series to drop within the first couple days of the game releasing to the public. So my number 5 team is another team in the Big Ten. It is the Wisconsin Badgers. And this is not necessarily a team that you need to rebuild. This is a team that you could take over instantly. Last year was 8-6, a very good team, a solid team. But this team before, and let me give you some history. 2015 through 2022, 67-26. That is a 72% win percentage. In bowl games, they were 6-1 during this time. Now, we can be honest, ladies and gentlemen, they have taken a little bit of a step back. They did hire Jim Leonard in 2022 as an interim coach, 4-3, and Luke Fickell took over the team in 2023. They were 8-6 during his run, 1-1 in bowl games, but you could take over the Wisconsin Badgers. You could lead this team back to the glory days, back to the prominence that this team had back in the day. They also had some great alum. I mean, guys like the Watt brothers, Russell Wilson is a great name, Kevin Zeitler, Joe Thomas. So they have a lot of good alumni, 334 pro players. And that's why they're my number 5 team, because of the history, because of the culture, because of the fan base, the jump around movement that they do during games. It's absolutely incredible. Wisconsin is a team that if you want to get into a good situation right away, you hop into it. You hop into the Wisconsin Badgers. You hop into the Big Ten. And speaking of the Big Ten, my number 4 team to run as a fun team in College Football 25 is the USC Trojans. 3 Big Ten teams to start off this video today. But ladies and gentlemen, they have some good storylines. This year, the USC Trojans are going into their first season post Caleb Williams. They have some good talent over there. They still have Zachariah Branch. They are going into a new quarterback era with Miller Moss as potentially the starting quarterback of the USC Trojans. But the one thing you would have to do is find some defense, because we know what the Big Ten is capable of. We see teams like Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State, even Iowa producing some great defensive talent, especially this year. The defensive talent that's going to come out of this draft class. And for USC, they right now don't have the capabilities on defense to compete against these big dogs. So you could recruit some of the best talent in the California region to come play in the Big Ten, to compete against these top teams and win a national championship for the USC Trojans. Now, my number 3 team is arguably, I think, one of the favorites. And I think a lot of people are going to run this team in College Football 25 Dynasty. It is the Miami Hurricanes. Now listen, you guys know the history with this team. Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, Sean Taylor, Warren Sapp, some of the greatest defensive players to ever step foot on a college football field. Now, you can run this team in Dynasty, in College Football 25. And let me tell you, the Miami Hurricanes have an interesting roster this year. They have an interesting team. They're going into this year with Cam Ward, who is trying to raise his stock for the NFL draft. But I expect Cam Ward to develop, be that top quarterback, and you could run Cam Ward in College Football 25. You could take over the Miami Hurricanes and prepare for the future without Cam Ward, who probably is a one and done going into the draft. And yeah, rebuild that defense. Bring back the dominant defense that had Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson sitting on the bench as a 4th string defensive lineman. You could do that in College Football 25. You could maybe find the next Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Who knows, ladies and gentlemen, in College Football 25. But in all seriousness, Miami has a good team. They have a good quarterback. They have a great future. They also have one of the richest histories in college football. So that's why they're my number 3 team here in this video. For my number 2, we are going to jump over to the SEC, and we are going to be going over to Tennessee and talking about them Tennessee Volunteers. Now, we talked about the SEC in the last video. We talked about it with Vanderbilt being my number 1 team to rebuild. This conference is stacked. The Alabama Crimson Tide, Auburn, Florida, Georgia, Kentucky, LSU, Mississippi State is a good team to rebuild. Even the Auburn Tigers is a team that could be a fun team to rebuild. The SEC in general is a fun team to just look at and maybe say, hey, I want to step in here. Maybe Texas A&M. You could make the next Johnny Manziel. Who knows? But we picked the Tennessee Volunteers for this video. The Tennessee Volunteers last year. Very interesting stuff from this team. A fringe contender for the college football playoff. And then they just started losing. They lost to Alabama last year. They lost to Missouri. They lost to Georgia. They couldn't get it done against the big opponents. They also lost to Florida last year, which was interesting. They did win their bowl game against Iowa, the number 17 ranked team in college football. But they got Nico. Nico is coming over to Tennessee. He is going to probably be the starting quarterback this year for the Tennessee Volunteers. He is one of the top quarterback prospects in all of college football. 6'6", 206, and he's got a laser of an arm. You could run him in College Football 25. You could continue the new era of Tennessee football post Joe Milton, post all of that good talent that they had over there in Tennessee. Now you can lead them over to the promised land, take them over the hump in the SEC, and lead them to a national championship. Now, my number 1 team is going to be ran by a lot of people. And in fact, you're probably going to see a ton of series on YouTube coming with this team. It is the Colorado Buffaloes, my number 1 team. They have an interesting story, not only this year, but going into next year. Obviously, we know this year they've got Shedeur Sanders, they've got Travis Hunter, but next year what is Deion Sanders going to do without his two guys? What is Deion Sanders going to build over there in Colorado? That question can be answered by you, the people at home, the people watching this video, the people that are going to run the Colorado Buffaloes. That is my number one team, and that is the end of this video, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate every single one of you for tuning into this video. Again, 99% of you. It just changed as I was recording this video. 99% of you that watched my last video, that watched my last college football video, you were not subscribed to the channel. Again, please hit that subscribe button. We are going to be dropping more videos when Ultimate Team comes out, when Road to Glory comes out, when College Football 25 drops. We are going to go crazy. And ladies and gentlemen, I hope you come for the ride. I hope you are with us for that time. We are also going to be streaming on Twitch. We are also going to be dropping a lot of day one videos. So ladies and gentlemen, again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please do so. And I will see you in the next video. Take care, guys.